welcome back to our show.
Those are all great shows, but tonight we are watching the A-Team!
A is the highest of letters. It must be the best.
A-Team, A-Family, welcome back to another video. We're super excited to be bringing you yet another video, as always. But before we get into all that, if this video made you feel any type of way, sort of like that, leave a like down below. It goes a long way. It helps us out a lot, and we always appreciate it. And don't forget to leave a comment. If you're feeling any type of way, let us know how you feel. Let us know if you like this video. If you just want to say, hey, what's up? We love you. Now, today's video is going to be 5 things that you didn't know, or 5 things that they didn't tell you about in labor. And before you go call Child Protective Services on me, this is something we do all the time with both babies because I have big hands and they love when I move them around this whirl and dirl. Because it helps with their gas. So
whirl and dirl.
Whirl and dirl.
Did you just cheer as a baby?
No, I would never do that.
To blow over.
Okay, so today's video is going to be 5 things that they don't tell you about in labor. Like I said, obviously we just had 2 babies, so we figured why not throw them in the video.
Okay, so obviously there was a ton of things that I didn't know about pregnancy in general and labor itself, but I kind of narrowed it down to 5 things that were kind of like huge to me that I wish kind of someone would have told me about, I guess. So number 1 being that while I was in labor, I don't know if it was, I think it was after my water broke, right? That's when I tried the different positions?
No, right before.
It was before? Okay, so before my water broke, they were having me do like these crazy positions. I guess it was to get my water to break, correct?
Yeah, basically like we had to do crazy different positions, her moving around so that it would like make the baby fall down lower in her stomach toward her you know where, and then get her water to break and come out.
So like a couple of them were like, they used a huge like exercise ball. It was like shaped like a peanut, and I had to like lay on my side and put it in between my legs, and that one was terrible.
The peanut!
That one was terrible. I did not like that one. I didn't like being on my side because the babies were just like all heavy and like dangling.
Yeah, plus it looked insanely uncomfortable.
Another one they did was had me like literally on my stomach on all 4s, but like obviously not laying on my stomach. And I actually got sick from that one, so that one was not pleasant.
Yeah,
either.
Didn't they put a beanbag under you? Under your stomach?
Did they? Honestly, I was so drugged that I don't even remember.
There you go. Star parenting, drugged it from day 1.
I was. I sat at one point.
Yeah. You can get in this crazy like
sitting crown position.
Yeah. The baby throne.
Yes. Alright, number 2 being that, well, I know me and you talked about it before about preeclampsia and having like high blood pressure, and I didn't know much about it. I was on baby aspirin the entire pregnancy because I was having twins, so I kind of knew I was at risk for higher blood pressure, but I didn't really know what that like consumed of until I got to the hospital and they're like, oh crap, your blood pressure is high. And I didn't know that seizures was like a factor, so they started putting like all these things around the bed, so like, you know, if you have a seizure, whatever those are, like the safety guards. So I was like super nervous and scared, and because of that too, I had to get a catheter, and that was like the last thing I would think I would ever have to get. Yeah,
it was crazy scary. Preeclampsia is not part of every pregnancy. It just happens if you get like high blood pressure. But when you're stuck in bed and you're on certain medications in your pregnancy, you might get a Foley catheter, and that's basically where they stick that tube up you and it like pulls the pee from you. So you
I couldn't even get out of bed for, well, it was over 24 hours.
Yeah, over 24 hours.
It was almost 2 days.
For sure.
I couldn't. Okay, so on to number 3. Something I didn't know is like how swollen you would get from delivering vaginally.
Oh yeah, you get really like, swollen down there.
I know you can tear, which thank God I didn't. Because I was not trying to have stitches down there, but I did get really swollen.
She was so swollen that they had to get like ice packs and use like witch hazel.
I forgot we brought these over here. And those were like a lifesaver. So if you are about to give birth, get those.
Basically just be aware that you will swell up down there.
Yeah.
So
it's really weird.
Yeah.
And also, I had a Zara through a C-section after pushing for 2 hours, and the recovery for a C-section is like insane. Everything was
Like before
slower too because I was on magnesium. So I had to wait until that was all gone pretty much. And then trying to get up for the first time, I actually passed out in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Because my body was just like...
No, literally that's what happened. She passed out.
I said, I don't feel
snored.
good.
Oh yeah, she was like, I don't feel so good.
So on to number 4. Something actually about the babies that I didn't know is that after they're born, while they're in the hospital, it's normal per se for them to lose weight. There's like a certain, I think it's 10%.
It's basically like babies can lose up to 10% of their birth weight and it can be considered normal. And then after 10% is when you know that you have some issues.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that they lose weight at all. Yeah.
So they were making me nervous because I was breastfeeding too. So I felt like, oh my God, like I'm not like giving them enough.
And then finally on to thing number 5.
Well, at first I didn't even know that I would give birth in the room that I started in. Well, not that I did because I was in the OR, but like any other mom, I didn't know the room you're in, that's where you deliver. I thought everyone went to the OR until I actually went for our NST, our non-stress test, and then we were talking to the nurse and she's like, no, since you're high risk and you're having twins, you're gonna actually go to the OR once, you know, everything's ready and they're coming. But if you're not like high risk or having a C-section, then you stay in the room that you're in from the beginning and you can literally hear other moms giving birth.
Or don't.
It was like the day after I had them and we were sitting there and we just hear this lady screaming and we're like, like
yeah,
for hours. Intense. And then after, I think we heard the baby crying and we're like, she had her baby.
Yeah, there's just a couple of things we want to give you guys a heads up on. I know they're not really tips, but there's just a couple of things that we thought about that we would have liked to know before going into the hospital. Anything else, babe?
No.
What about you, Zar? And Mira? Alright guys, with all that being said, with all that being done, you're gonna have to do it for me, babe.
A-Team out!